Hello, my name is Howard Mednick, and I'm going to be your classical music DJ. In this program, you will feel like you're going to a real live concert. Through this technology, you will both hear and see the performers. As your DJ, I'll introduce each piece of music, tell you a little bit about the composer, and give you some background about the musical work itself and how it relates to the overall theme of the program. Your task will be to sit back and enjoy the experience. My goal is to make this informative, entertaining, and fun. If you're not already a fan of classical and orchestral music, who knows, you may become one. So let's get started. I have done two other programs on the relationship between classical music and popular culture. There are so many examples of this that I had to do a third program because these are always interesting and fun. So here is even more classical music and popular culture. We can't seem to get enough of it. Why don't we let that wascally wabbit, Bugs Bunny, and his pal, Elmer Fudd, get us started with this clip as they define what real opera is all about. I could not do it better myself. Hey, what's opera, Doc?
Be very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. Wabbit wax. Kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit.
Kill the wabbit?
Yo-ho-ho, 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 yo-ho.
Almighty warrior of great fighting stock, might I inquire to ask if what's up, Doc?
I'm going to kill the wabbit.
Almighty hunter, 'twill be quite a task. How will you do it? Might I inquire to ask?
I will do it with my spear and magic helmet.
Your spear and magic helmet?
Spear and magic helmet.
Magic helmet?
Magic helmet.
Magic helmet.
What have I done? I've killed the rabbit. Poor little bunny. Poor little rabbit.
Well, what did you expect in an opera? A happy ending?
Our first composer is Edvard Grieg, undoubtedly Norway's most famous composer. He incorporated many Norwegian melodies in his works. As a result, his music has that distinctive feel as to what that northerly climate, rugged lands, and seashores of Norway are all like. His piano concerto in A minor is exactly that, a bold, dynamic piece of music that takes you on a trip through Norway. Let's listen to that haunting melody of the first movement as played by Julia Fischer with the Junge Deutsche Philharmonic Orchestra. I have a confession to make. I wasn't always interested in classical music. In my younger days, like all teenagers, I listened to the latest rock and roll music primarily on the radio. In order to do this, I had to get permission from my mother, who would only allow classical music, Broadway tunes, and news on the radio at home. But eventually she relented and I got to listen to the top 40 hits. One day I was listening to the radio and my mother walked in and said that the tune I was listening to was Grieg's Piano Concerto in A minor. I said, "No, Mom, that's the big hit Asia Minor by this guy called Kokomo." Later in my life, when I finally came to my senses and recognized how great classical music really is, I realized the errors of my former ways. So here is Jimmy Wisner, aka Kokomo, with Asia Minor, a 1961 rock and roll version of Grieg's masterpiece. Of course, this just proves something we all know, that mothers are always right. Emmanuel Chabrier was a popular French composer in the latter part of the 19th century. Several of his pieces remain popular today in the classical music repertoire. Like many French composers at the time, Chabrier wrote orchestral music capturing the melodies and rhythms of Spain. In his case, it was the result of a visit he made to Spain, so he came back writing Spanish-like music, which is very popular then and remains so today. His piece, aptly named España, made Chabrier the hit of Paris when it came out. Let's listen to the BBC Orchestra at a London Proms concert in Royal Albert Hall perform this under the direction of Leonard Slatkin. In 1956, the songwriters Al Hoffman and Dick Manning wrote a pop song, Hot Diggity Dog. They clearly based it on Chabrier's España. It was recorded by Perry Como, and it became a #1 Billboard hit that year. Before, I told you a story about my mother. Now I have to tell you a bit about my father. Back in the day, his favorite TV show, in black and white of course, was the Perry Como TV show, which we would all watch every week. So for your viewing enjoyment, here is Perry Como with his backup dancers singing Hot Diggity Dog. Take it away, Perry.
Kiss that away, bring me bliss that away, with a kiss that away, what a wonderful feeling to feel that away. Tell me, where have you been all my life? Oh, hot diggity dog, diggity boom, what you do to me, it's so new to me, what you do to me, hot diggity dog, diggity boom, what you do to me, when you're holding me tight. Never knew that my heart could go zing that away, ting-a-ling that away, make me sing that away, say goodbye to my troubles, they went that away, ever since you came into my life. Oh, hot diggity dog, diggity boom, what you do to me, what's so new to me, what you do to me, hot diggity dog, diggity boom, what you do to me, when you're holding me tight. I can share it with you that way. I'll be happy the rest of my life. Oh, hot diggity dog, diggity boom, what you do to me, it's so new to me, what you do to me, hot diggity dog, diggity boom, what you do to me, when you're holding me tight. Oh, hot diggity dog, diggity boom, what you do to me, how my future will shine. Hot diggity dog, diggity boom, what you do to me, from the moment you're mine. Hot dog!
Amilcare Ponchielli was an Italian opera composer who had the misfortune of trying to compose his operas at the same time as the master, Giuseppe Verdi, was composing his masterworks. As a result, Ponchielli could only attain a secondary ranking among the opera composer greats. He was also very laid back and humble in his demeanor and did not expend a lot of effort at self-promotion, which, as we all know, is very important if you want to succeed in any profession. He did succeed, however, as a teacher and included Giacomo Puccini and Pietro Mascagni, two other great opera composers, as his pupils. One major opera that Ponchielli composed was La Gioconda. It is a big, sweeping showpiece with stirring passions, high tension, and excellent theater. Most notably, there are several dance scenes. In The Dance of the Hours is a spectacular ballet performed right in the middle of the opera. Let's listen to an orchestral version of this performed by the Orchestra della Accademia Nazionale di Santa Cecilia and its director Antonio Pappano. Well, I'm sure you recognize that particular melody from Ponchielli's Dance of the Hours. There are actually two very popular versions of this. The first is used in Walt Disney's Fantasia with the dancing hippos. The second, of course, is Alan Sherman's A Letter from Camp, or as it's more commonly known, Hello Mudda, Hello Fada. Sherman wrote this using Ponchielli's music and based much of it on an actual letter he received from one of his children who was away at camp. So let's go back to 1963 to Camp Granada and have some fun with Ponchielli.
Hello, mother. Hello, father. Here I am at Camp Granada. Camp is very entertaining. And they say we'll have some fun if it stops raining. I went hiking with Joe Spivey. He developed poison ivy. You remember Leonard Skinner? He got ptomaine poisoning last night after dinner. All the counselors hate the waiters, and the lake has alligators. And the head coach wants no sissies, so he reached to us from something called Ulysses. Now I don't want this should scare you, but my bunkmate has malaria. You remember Jeffrey Hardy? They're about to organize a searching party. Take me home, oh mother, father, take me home. I hate Granada, don't leave me out in the forest where I might get eaten by a bear. Take me home, I promise I will not make noise or mess the house with other boys. Oh, please don't make me stay. I've been here one whole day. Dearest father, darling mother, how's my precious little brother? Let me come home if you miss me. I would even let Aunt Bertha hug and kiss me. Just a minute, it stopped hailing. Guys are swimming, guys are sailing, playing baseball. Gee, that's better. Mother, father, kindly disregard this letter.
Well, that's all, folks. As we just saw and heard, there are instances of classical music all over the entertainment world. Isn't it fun to identify them and see and hear this magnificent music in its proper original form in a concert hall with an orchestra or as an opera performance? I had a lot of fun with this, and I'm sure you did too. For more information on this program and others, go to my website, classicalmusicdj.com. Thank you for watching and listening. Bye for now.